claiming that his throat was nearly in prison. According to Diddy, he was asleep in his cell and he woke up to a man standing over him with a shank at his throat.
A new wave of online clips and inmate claims has pushed Diddy back into the spotlight, this time focusing on what life looks like for him behind bars. Short videos and secondhand accounts are circulating rapidly, raising questions about his safety, his status inside the facility, and how much of this information can actually be verified. In the aftermath of 50 Cent's documentary, renewed attention has also turned toward past allegations and whether they have prompted additional scrutiny from investigators. In this video, we break down what is confirmed, what remains unverified, and what is known so far about the reported developments surrounding Diddy's incarceration and the recent investigative activity linked to his case.
He is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library itself.
But you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
this got to be
his first assignment.
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah,
it feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does it does sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
This video only touches the surface of what's being discussed online. While recent footage may show Diddy appearing calm and composed, reports circulating suggest a far more unstable reality behind the scenes. Over the past year, multiple unverified accounts have claimed that he has faced serious threats while in custody, fueling speculation about his safety. Whether held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York or at facilities in New Jersey, sources describe an environment where his visibility alone makes him a constant target. What can be confirmed, however, is that his incarceration has placed him under intense scrutiny, with rumors often moving faster than verified facts.
He is claiming that his throat was nearly in prison. According to Diddy, he was asleep in his cell and he woke up to a man standing over him with a shank at his throat. It's important to understand that this incident was not an attempted. If this person wanted to Diddy, he never even would have seen it coming until he was bleeding out of his throat. This was a warning, and this was a mark of things to come for Diddy. First off, Diddy is down on a bad charge, and it doesn't matter that it's not like a child charge, it's still a sex charge, and people in prison, they don't like that. Even though it's a prostitution charge and the prostitutes that he had transported across state lines were men, it's still a sex beef. That honestly is going to seem even weirder to dudes in there. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy has a lot of money, and they're going to want that money, and they're going to get that money out of him, whether he wants them to or not. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy is famous, so if you were the dude who beat up, stabbed, or clapped Diddy's cheeks, that gives you a certain amount of clout.
Some online commentators argue that the pressure surrounding Diddy carries an implicit warning. Say nothing, name no one. To understand why that interpretation exists, it helps to look at the charges themselves. When federal authorities took Diddy into custody in September, prosecutors brought forward serious RICO allegations. Notably, the indictment named him alone. For some observers, that detail raises questions rather than answers. RICO cases typically examine networks, not isolated figures, which has led to speculation about whether others could eventually come under scrutiny. What remains unproven, however, are claims that intimidation is taking place or that unnamed associates are actively attempting to silence him. At this stage, those assertions exist in online commentary, not in verified court records. The gap between what has been charged and what people assume is where rumor continues to grow.
Mark, Diddy is going to spend definitely 2+ years in a federal prison. I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target because they talked about this in court. They said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target. Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank it once at the MDC, and that.
Few believe Diddy ever expected to end up behind bars. For years, his status and connections appeared to place him beyond ordinary consequences. He wasn't just a music executive, but a cultural figure with access to politicians, heads of state, and global elites across entertainment, business, and public life. That proximity to power helped reinforce the perception that legal trouble could always be managed, negotiated, or avoided. What makes the current moment striking is not just the charges themselves, but the collapse of the assumption that influence alone guarantees immunity.
Too many people that don't know when to shut the hell up. Now look, it's this Diddy thing. Look what he's saying now. Diddy been running around Fort Dix, bragging about Trump supposed to be pardoning him early next year. This is what he's telling inmates. But I'm gonna tell you why he's telling them that. And I don't like it. See, Diddy think he's slick. See, Diddy know they on his ass. And he trying to figure out between washing clothes and all this other shit, trying to figure out how he can stay cool.
This didn't start at Fort Dix. Online claims say that even earlier, while held at MDC, Diddy referenced powerful political names, including Donald Trump. None of this has been confirmed in court, and no official records support outside intervention. What matters is not whether influence existed, but that he appeared to believe it did. That belief reveals how insulated from consequences he may have felt. Perception of power can shape expectations, but does not equal protection. Until evidence proves otherwise, these claims remain speculation, not fact.
You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up.
Not anymore. After more than a year behind bars, Diddy formally requested a presidential pardon, and Donald Trump declined. Speaking to the New York Times on Wednesday, Trump confirmed the request came through a letter, but said he has not spoken to Diddy in years and has no plans to reduce his sentence. Details of the letter were not disclosed. Trump did not offer a specific reason for the decision, only noting that it was something he had already considered during Diddy's trial in May.
A lot of people have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
News of the pardon denial surfaced about a month after Diddy's legal team filed motions challenging both his conviction and sentence. What followed added another layer to the story. According to multiple reports and public commentary, 50 Cent's opposition played a decisive role in shutting down any chance of clemency. Throughout this saga, 50 Cent has consistently positioned himself as a counterweight whenever Diddy appeared close to avoiding consequences. When rumors emerged that Diddy might leverage past political connections to pursue a pardon, 50 responded immediately, using his platform to apply public pressure and draw attention to the case. That intervention marked another moment where influence met resistance, and this time, the door closed completely.
He used to really like me a lot. I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any end.
He doesn't care, literally doesn't care. 50 Cent is openly saying he will reach out to Trump, reminding him of everything P. Diddy has said, all to make sure Diddy doesn't get a pardon if convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. That's 50 Cent's sworn mission. And honestly, that's wild. You know you've got a serious adversary when a man is willing to personally go to the president to influence a case. He's basically saying, this brother needs to go down.
Don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I gotta admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, you know, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
The same pattern repeated after that prison footage of Diddy went viral. 50 Cent jumped in immediately, posting his thoughts on Instagram. Think about it. He's dedicating serious energy to targeting Diddy. He even paused lucrative business projects and personally reached out to survivors to involve them in his documentary. This isn't normal trolling. 50 is making sure Diddy's case stays in the spotlight, leaving no room for shady moves.
The rap game, man. It's Diddy's birthday, November 4th.
Oh, yeah, man.
Today.
Yeah.
It's his birthday.
Yes.
And he happens to put up a post of him, and, you know, there were some pictures released of Diddy on the yard with a couple other prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to see prisoners, right?
Yeah. You know, he had Bad Boy East, Bad Boy West. That's Bad Boy Prisons.
Yeah. But he put up a picture of those pictures, and he said he looked too happy to me with all them handsome men around. Good morning, New York City.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Dude, how does 50 get away with this?
I don't know.
Because we were talking about, man, 50 don't lose any brand deals. He don't lose any endorsements. He can walk in and sell TV shows.
Oh, yes.
You know, he can be in the boardroom and also be petty as hell, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Even when he sat down with us, he kind of explained a little bit about him and Diddy and the beef.
I haven't had issues with Puffy. I don't like him like that. Like, I don't like things that he would do.
Right.
And make me uncomfortable.
So we're speaking on Diddy. We're speaking on Puff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have that thing where, we ain't had no thing. I wasn't sending nothing at him, big. If it was on the street side like that, we would be actively doing things to each other.
I still don't understand.
And we wasn't doing it.
I was still trying to figure out, you do a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot.
You do a lot.
And the uncomfortable part was when he was talking to the Breakfast Club. And he was mentioning how Diddy wanted to take him shopping.
He said something fabulous, and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of it. No, dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Hey, dude, that sounds like something Mariana would say.
Yeah,
that's a nice gesture. Like, no, you don't.
The public attention 50 Cent generated, along with the evidence in his documentary, became the main reason survivors finally saw accountability. Diddy tried every angle to pressure 50 to back off. Just one day after the doc aired, Diddy reportedly sent a flower arrangement. 50 shared it on Instagram, noting he understood exactly what Diddy was trying to convey.
I sent 50 Cent some damn flowers while he locked up, bro. All right, we all know Diddy is mad about this whole docu-series that 50 put out on Netflix and is #1 going crazy, so you know he mad. Now, according to 50, all right, these are some warning flowers. Y'all know how Diddy used to get down. You know, he used to send people in the mail. He'll send a nigga blow up a car. Y'all know how he get down. So if he mad, clearly he's mad about this documentary. Bro sent 50 some flowers at his hotel while he was in Miami, bro. Now, I ain't gonna show the address on these flowers, but 50 posted the whole address. Now, in the caption, 50 said, "What kind of gay shit is this? Diddy send me flowers at Club 11, LOL. LOL, why all the foreplay? Get busy, you know I'm stupid." Then he commented again and said, "A warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me, LOL." So y'all know why Diddy sent this. He ain't send it because he happy or proud of 50 for dropping this goddamn docuseries on his demon ass, bro.
Returning, Diddy is clearly heated about 50 Cent's Netflix docuseries. According to 50, Diddy sent flowers to his Miami hotel, what 50 calls a warning rather than a gift. 50 joked about it on Instagram, calling it unnecessary foreplay and emphasizing he doesn't respond well to warnings. Behind bars, filings revealed Diddy was saved from serious harm when a guard intervened during an assault involving a blade at his neck. He is now reportedly compensating other inmates for personal protection.
Had something very scary happen to him. One of his close friends is speaking out and saying that while he was sleeping at the MDC Brooklyn jail, somebody came and put a knife, pressed it to his throat. Now, as I keep digging into the story, they're saying yes, a correctional officer or a police officer was the one who came and basically helped him out and quote unquote saved him. Yes. And so, you know, obviously Diddy's lawyers are trying to use this as a way to just get him even moved to a different location. But right now, everything is kind of staying as is.
Yeah, his safety being an issue when he's supposed to be, you know, I think in some sort of protected environment. You know, remember MDC, isn't that where the Epstein situation happened?
The lawyers, when they were speaking on Diddy being in prison and the circumstances him being in prison, I didn't never hear about this, and nobody ever said anything about this. And I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. Now, I'm like, if he was doing all this positive shit in jail, and they was talking about he was, all the inmates loved him, and they was employing him and doing standing ovation. I wonder what inmate was trying to shank him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans, or that was one of Biggie fans? Because they said that the guard, they said that in court. One of the lawyers, one of the guards stopped one of the individuals that was trying to shank him, bro. And that was crazy. Nobody, I never, that didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up. But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there. You know what I'm saying? And base that, or he probably used that, base that on trying to help Diddy get into one of those camps or one of those programs.
Gene Deal, formerly Diddy's personal security, went public about Diddy's behavior in prison. He warned that Diddy isn't just at risk from organized crime or fellow inmates. Incarceration itself could take a severe toll on his mental state. According to Deal, Diddy lacks the resilience to endure long-term confinement, and if conditions become unbearable, he might even consider taking his own life. Despite his tough public persona, Diddy has never engaged in actual violence.
Makes sense, but you knowing Diddy personally, do you think it's possible he might take his life?
It takes a certain individual to prepare himself to do a lot of years in jail. From the lifestyle that he had, I'm not saying that he can't. I just don't see him able to do time behind bars. Maybe if he be in a camp type situation, that's a possibility. But based on the lifestyle and what he's done and what he's accomplished, if he has to go behind those bars for a lot of years, I think that he may commit suicide. He do an Epstein.
Hardened offenders show zero tolerance for anyone who assaults women. Former mobsters Michael Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano explained that if organized crime had learned of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged conduct, he would have been taken out long ago. The mob doesn't let anyone escape consequences for harming women, which likely explains why Diddy continues to be a marked target.
Guys in the mob did some terrible, terrible things. The murders were gruesome and violent and painful, and they served a purpose. They were meant to terrify people into staying in line, right? Compare that to the things that you've heard alleged from the witness stand and testimony under oath from a lot of these young women and some of the young men who were his assistants. Compare the guys in the mob to the stuff you're hearing alleged against Diddy.
If we did that in the mob, we would be for it. We would never touch women and children and stuff like that. So that's against our rules, our principles. We would never get away with something like that. There was a guy, Roy DeMeo and Gas Pipe, who became serial killer for no reason, and they were. So, I mean, if he was in the mafia, he would, and we knew what he was doing, he would have been, there would be no trial.
Diddy's extended incarceration has amplified threats against him. On December 19th, his legal team filed an appeal seeking to reduce or overturn his 50-month sentence. They argued that since the jury acquitted him on some of the more serious charges, his punishment was excessively harsh and he deserved immediate release.
Sean Diddy Combs seeking an immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys urging a federal appeals court in New York to reverse his conviction on related charges or direct the judge to lighten his 4-year sentence. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Diddy's lawyers, Jeff, officially filing that appeal this week. Tell us more about their argument and also the chances it succeeds. What are you hearing?
So Diddy is currently serving that 50-month prison sentence after being found guilty on those related charges over the summer. In their appeal filing, his lawyers now arguing the music mogul was treated harshly during sentencing by a federal judge who let evidence surrounding charges that he was actually found not guilty of actually then influence his punishment.
Sean Diddy Combs is seeking immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys filed an appeal in a New York federal court, asking to overturn certain conviction-related charges or have his 4-year sentence reduced. Diddy's lawyers argue that the judge treated him harshly by considering evidence tied to charges for which he was acquitted. If he successfully navigates the next 12 months and defends against any new lawsuits, he could regain his freedom.
Well, Trump recently announced that he's not going to be pardoning Diddy.
I seen that.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
Yes.
Me too.
I thought he would have pardoned Diddy.
Yeah, because they used to be homies back in the day.
I think maybe Diddy didn't do what he was supposed to do.
What was that?
You know how that go, man. You know, hey, listen, the Chevy in the parking lot, the truck is open. You know, them pardons ain't just happening to happen. This a fact. Not those type of pardons. But if Diddy does right, and if he's in the drug program, he'll be home later this year anyway.
This year?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. He's not coming home this year.
You want to do the math?
Let's do the math.
Okay, let's do the math. 50 months, right? He got 50 months.
Right, about 12 months time served?
Hold on, he got 12 months time. Do they take the 15 from the top?
Yeah.
Okay, so minus his 15%. That leaves 42 and a half months. Minus, he had,
about
was
12.
It 12 months time served? 12.
So that's 30.
That's 30. Minus another 12 months for the drug program. That's why he went there. You do the drug program, they
18
take
months.
12 months off. 18 months minus 6 months for the halfway house. 12 and a half months. He got sentenced when, in October? Was it October?
I think that's too soon, but yeah.
All
right, listen, if you're right,
doing all the deductions.
Listen, I'll be happy if
you
Diddy's
do know
free.
That's why he wanted the drug program.
Right, to get a reduction.
You
I get
it 12 months off, and then they send you to the halfway house 6 months early. So that leaves him with 12.
Diddy was sentenced in October and immediately sought programs to reduce his time. With credits and early release programs, he could be down to about 12 months behind bars. Meanwhile, his empire is feeling the pressure. Reporters from a New York Times revealed he's liquidating personal assets, including his private aircraft.
The final sale price, it says it was not disclosed on the paper, but you got new information.
Well, listen, it runs from between 20 million to 30 million. Of course, they did not tell us what the final sale was. And it's also anonymous. We don't know who bought it.
Listen, I'm not mad at that person. Whoever that is.
Keep it anonymous.
Keep it anonymous. Like, listen, when I'm at the dispensary, I check out anonymously. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want y'all to know what I'm getting in the bag. So, same thing applies here. If you're buying Diddy's PJ, you might want to keep that on the low.
Keep that on the low. Like you say, you probably get a paint job after that.
You feel me? Just put primer over the Bad Boy logo. Like, yo, we gonna cover this up real quick.
Can you imagine what that pre-purchase inspection was like?
Yo, we was talking about this off mic.
All the cracks and crevices.
Big room raiders energy. We're going in there with the black.
Yo, you gotta get the black light.
Black light.
They don't even want to check the engine. We don't care about the engine.
We don't care about none of that.
Check the carpets.
Check the chairs. Rip out. We got to reupholster this whole joint.
Everything.
Now, this was actually sold due to legal pressure. So maybe he's using these funds to, pay the lawyers, pay the staff, because I know the staff was also waiting for some money while he is incarcerated.
Right. That's what happens when the boss goes down. You know what I'm saying? Them checks.
Diddy needs funds to defend himself against mounting accusations. The LA County Sheriff's Department has launched a new criminal probe, first reported by TMZ. The investigation also involved Jonathan Audi, Rihanna's former publicist, and CJ Wallace, Biggie's son. Allegedly, Audi was assaulted by Diddy after being invited to lay down tracks.
Now facing new assault allegations, this time from a man in Florida. According to ABC News, investigators in LA received a report from a police department in Florida where the alleged victim lives, and now they are working on the case. Eyewitness News anchor Mike Marza in the newsroom with the very latest details. Mike.
Well, David, here's what we know. The new allegations of against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in LA. Hay alleging that Combs performed acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident, in 2021, Hay claims that CJ Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where two men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on two related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded.
This isn't Diddy's only new legal headache. 50 Cent's documentary exposed previously unknown evidence and eyewitness accounts tied to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, publicly linking Diddy to these events for the first time.
My favorite thing about 50 Cent's Netflix Diddy documentary is how he built a timeline off of this information. And one of my favorite parts of this documentary is them really getting into the timeline of events when it comes to Tupac and Biggie. And it really gives us a lot of perspective from people that were close to the situation, and a lot of people allege in this documentary that they believe that Diddy was very jealous of Tupac. And they pretty much go through everything from the quad incident and Tupac believing that Puffy was behind it, like he said in the Vibe interview. And they lay out this whole timeline of the downfall happening perfectly, in my opinion. We are even hearing from Greg Kading, the detective that worked on Tupac and Biggie's case in this documentary. He is the investigator that did that proffer agreement with Keefe D way back in 2008, where Keefe D alleged that Diddy tried to offer him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And Tupac's trial with Keefe D is coming up very soon in early 2026. And we know that Diddy's name has been dropped at least 200 times during these proceedings already. So this is one case that I am definitely waiting for and I am going to cover. In Keefe D's 2008 proffer agreement, he alleged that Diddy's friend Zip Martin is the one that gave him the weapon that was used to take out Tupac. And Keefe D told the investigator Greg Kading that Zip Martin had a special compartment to keep this weapon in his car that he drove to Las Vegas. And in this documentary, we have Greg Kading confirming that Zip Martin did drive the same type of vehicle that Keefe D alleged to Las Vegas this night. And then during this documentary, we heard from the former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, who alleged during this time, Diddy had him hiring a whole bunch of people and getting cars to drive to Las Vegas. And he is now very curious into why Diddy wanted to do this. And he said in his opinion, he now believes that Diddy was behind taking out Tupac.
Tupac Shakur's family has launched an inquiry into his murder, hiring attorney Alex Spiro. His sibling, Ma Pram Shakur, submitted a declaration and expressed ongoing distrust of Diddy.
Following new developments in the case of the hip-hop mogul who is facing RICO charges in New York, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove.
The investigations are closing in, and the allies Diddy counted on for protection have disappeared. This story isn't over. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. What comes next could change everything.